Did the old prophets actually meet angels on top of mountains? Or were they highly intelligent beings from a galaxy far, far away? Welcome to UFOLOGY, where we explore the truth about alien life. Because let's face it, we're not alone, and the evidence is everywhere. Today, we'll be covering 3 creepy alien cryptid encounters. A cryptid is an animal or plant whose existence has been suggested, but not recognized by scientific consensus. This includes beings like Nessie, Bigfoot, and the Jersey Devil. Cryptids are usually prominent in folklore. Many of them also seem to have extraterrestrial origins. If you're interested in learning about some of these creepy encounters, let's dive right in. First, we have the Flatwoods Monster. As the name implies, it was encountered in the village of Flatwoods, West Virginia, on September 12, 1952. It was dusk. The brothers Ed and Freddie May have been playing in the schoolyard with their friend Tommy Heyer. As they watched, a pulsing red light streaked across the sky and crashed on a nearby farm. The 3 kids ran to inform Mrs. May, then hightailed it up the hill to check out the crash site. They were accompanied by a few other boys and a dog, too. As soon as they arrived, they ran back down screaming in terror. Even the dog fled. According to a later news report, Lemon saw a 10-foot alien with a bloody red body and green face that seemed to glow. The monster also seemed to have claws and was surrounded by a thick mist. 7 Braxton County residents on Saturday reported seeing a 10-foot Frankenstein-like monster in the hills above Flatwoods, was the headline published in a local newspaper. This encounter eventually made national news. It soon became the terror of the nation. Project Blue Book got involved too. If you've watched some of our previous videos, you'll recall Blue Book was the government body investigating numerous other UFO sightings. More than 6 decades later, the Flatwoods Monster still endures as a local legend. To this day, tourists come out of their way to Flatwoods to visit its monster museum and buy green monster trinkets and t-shirts. Opinions are divided between true believers and skeptics. On hearing the initial reports, state police laughed them off as hysteria. They said the so-called monster had grown from 7 to 17 feet in 24 hours. John Gibson, a Flatwoods High School freshman at the time, had his doubts too. In a recent interview, he said, "I don't believe in the Easter Bunny, I don't believe in Santa, and I don't believe in the Flatwoods Monster, but I do want to boost our community." He has since sold thousands of his 12-inch tall ceramic green monster figurines at $30 a piece. On the other hand, local newspaper publisher A. Lee Stewart seemed to believe the reports. "These people were the most scared I've ever seen," he said in a 1952 news story. Stewart himself had marched up that hill with a shotgun after hearing the news. He believes that the fear the other witnesses showed was genuine and not easy to fake. Next up, let's take a look at Bigfoot. Bigfoot is probably one of the most famous cryptids, and you've likely heard of it too. In fact, Bigfoot may not be a singular creature, but a species. Sightings of Bigfoot have been reported all across the world, from North America to Tibet to India, China, and even Australia. The Bigfoot is commonly described as a heavy, bipedal humanoid ape. It stands around 8 to 10 feet tall and has long arms. It has dense fur, ranging in colors from red to white to brown. It has very large feet, which is why it's called Bigfoot. Even in 2022, people are still reporting sightings of Bigfoot. The encounters happened twice in South Carolina, once on July 5th and then another time on August 2nd. The first sighting was reported in York County near a power line cut. Power outages seem to be common during Bigfoot sightings. A professional forester reported hearing a knocking noise. There was also a strange smell in the area. He said he found a large area of grass that was compressed. It was as if something large was sleeping there regularly. The second sighting was in Hunting Island State Park, near the lighthouse. The person who reported it stated that they saw a creature walking on the side of the road in front of their car. The creature soon disappeared into the lush forest. It was not seen again afterward. Some people believe that Bigfoot is a descendant of prehistoric humans or apes. Others claim it's an extraterrestrial. In fact, fossils of extinct giant apes have been found that may be Bigfoot's ancestors. These fossils show signs that the extinct giant apes were more advanced than other primates. Could they have been early experiments in alien DNA manipulation? And why did the species die out all of a sudden? No one knows for sure, but Bigfoot's existence might mean the legacy of the aliens is still being passed down. Lastly, we have our creepiest alien cryptid encounter on this list. Known only as the Grinning Man or Indrid Cold, it is an alien that appears human, with one eerie difference: it never stops smiling. The first sighting was reported by Woodrow Derenberger in 1966. Derenberger was returning from a business trip one night when he stopped to adjust a sewing machine in the back of his truck. Once he got back on the road, he noticed lights ahead of him. Thinking the lights were police officers, he stopped again. Derenberger then discovered that the lights didn't belong to a car. There was an aircraft hovering ahead that looked like a kerosene lamp chimney. A tall man stepped out of the craft and approached his car. The man had a tan and thick, dark brown hair combed straight back. Derenberger claims the man looked completely normal, but the perpetual grin on the being's face gave it away. It also had its arms folded the whole time. Despite Derenberger hearing its voice, the grinning man never stopped smiling. He believes it was communicating telepathically. The grinning man introduced itself as Indrid Cold and stated it meant no harm, only happiness. It hailed from the planet Lanulos. Two others like it were also on Earth, named Dimo Hassan and Carl Ardo. After Derenberger's televised interview, others came forward with claims they had seen the same man. One person reported being too afraid to stop when Indrid Cold flagged him down. Others said they saw lights and fluttering vehicles on the road where Derenberger had encountered Cold. Several witnesses also reported seeing Derenberger talking to Cold. Strangely, some of these subsequent reports described it with different features. According to them, Indrid Cold had no nose, ears, or hair. Perhaps that was Cold's true alien form under the human disguise. For the next month, Cold visited Derenberg often, along with the other two grinning men. Eventually, Derenberger's family began seeing Cold as well. The visits stopped after a while, but Derenberger's notoriety became unbearable. This notoriety only increased further after he wrote a book about his experience. Hounded by skeptics and curious visitors, he moved out of the area after divorcing his wife. Derenberger only moved back 23 years later, shortly before his death. He never spoke of Indrid Cold again. So what happened to the Grinning Man and its friends? Nobody knows for sure. Maybe it was a scout here and returned to Lanulos after completing its mission. Or maybe the alien was just lonely. These are merely 3 of many eerie cryptid encounters. There are many hidden things and beings we know little about. And that's on Earth alone. Imagine what else could be out there lurking beyond the stars. Perhaps someday we'll discover more of these mysterious beings. But then again, it might be better not to. Make sure to comment below on what your thoughts are, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to tune in next week.